We are live. Hello, that's Christina. I'm me. Playdates and Travels. Dole Whip, Dad. What is going on, my friend? Pre-show, we were talking about some pool time today. What the heck? You didn't invite me. How come I didn't get to go to the pool?
You missed out.
I did. We've got actually a pool right across the street that has kind of been taken over by the little junior high crew. So we don't go to it because they're messy. But no, it's pretty cool. But 108 Real Feel here. You're in California. I'm in Texas. I feel like we're winning the heat battle.
Yeah, I mean, we were 88 degrees today. It was too hot to not go to the pool. We actually went yesterday too, which is a record. Right. But yeah.
I grew up in San Diego, so we didn't have what you guys in the rest of the planet call weather. We just had, San Diego. Where in California are you about?
That's where it is. I'm in LA. So yeah, so it's pretty much nice weather all the time. We kind of just don't pay attention to weather reports at all.
So I'm a Dodgers fan, but this was in This was in reachable distance. Anyway, how are you, my friend? We're going to talk a little Disney, little YouTube.
I know. I'm excited about it.
I actually, I'm going to say hi to everybody in chat real fast, but I feel like I need to purge myself of some guilt. I scheduled you on a night that I already had somebody else. So you were scheduled to be on, like, I don't know, 100 years ago.
Forever ago.
Or whatever that, I don't even know when that was. But yeah. So I'm glad to have you here finally. I'm excited to talk to you, and I'm hopefully excited to get you to meet some new people. Hannah L., first one in the chat tonight. James Ryan in the house. Thanks for being a member. Pearl Manhattan in here. Keith, big Disney fan in the house. What's going on, my man? The Sure Nut 60 here. Let's see who else. Hitchhiking Bones is in the house. Hey, I'm in here. Cheat Meal. Food Cat. Hey, from the morning crew. Love it. Thanks for being here. Michael Superbacker in the house. I'm going to skip through this really fast. If I miss you, please don't feel like I'm ignoring you on purpose. Life with Roxanna's in the house. David Crantrell, what's going on, my man? How are you? Cinder Alley loves Disney. What's going on? Kelly from the Mickey Bunch is here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member of the club of the channel. Playdates and Travels, the YouTube channel. Let's start there. I sense that you started off, it was a mommy and me thing, and it's grown into more. Tell me I'm wrong if I am.
No, you're right. A lot of people don't know that. I don't remember when I started exactly. I think it was sometime in 2017. And I know that I had wanted to start my channel for probably. My phone just turned on.
Hi, Alyssa.
So yeah, I think I had just wanted to start it like maybe 2 years before, something like that, and I held off for whatever reason. And then I actually was about 7 or 8 months pregnant when I started my channel. And I have a daughter who's 5 years old now, almost 6, and I was pregnant with my son. And I wanted to do something that focused more on a family channel. Like I knew that I wanted Disney to be a focus, but I wanted to give myself a reason to focus on other content as well. And I was in the midst of just making playdates all the time, and I love traveling. So that's where the name came from. And my channel started out with actually like registry unboxings and showing what I got from baby registries. And then I think I did my first Disney video about a month into my channel and had a lot of fun with that, and just like, it went from there.
I love that. Well, yeah. I don't know. I have 4 daughters, so my goal in life is not to be the creepy guy. But you got cute kids, man. You got really cute kids. The last video you had, you ended it with your kids in the background, or the back seat, I should say. Well, the background too, I suppose. I love family friendly channels. I love
featuring them as much as I can too. I don't always get to. I mean, there's a lot of videos that people have been watching my channel for a while. There's a lot of videos that were like in the last year or something that my son was pretty much in every video because there wasn't any way around that because he's a baby. He's going to be in my video. But now I try to schedule it where they're not around me so much because they're just, I mean, as much as I love them, the chatter, the screaming in the background gets a little.
Could you stop talking for 8 seconds? I may have said that a billion times in my life. I work with kids. So I've got 4 daughters, 2 still living with me, 2 have moved away and made their own kids. I work with kids too. So I have said you're not allowed to say shut up, but I've meant it about 1 trillion times in my life.
I have said shut up to my daughter before, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing that.
We adopted our first 2 kids, and I learned the day that Samantha, she was 4 at the time, she was a foster kid at the time, and that the first day in my kitchen, she's making spaghetti with her about to be her mom, my wife, and that was the moment I learned that shut up was a bad word, because before that it wasn't a bad word in my life. But that's a whole nother thing.
I remember being 5 and someone said shut up to me when I was in kindergarten. I remember being like, they said a bad word. They said shut up. And then I was like, and I just used it I was like, I shouldn't really do that.
When I was 5, I heard shut up for the 18 trillionth time, and it did not faze me in the least.
Well, I'm a girl. I feel like girls, we internalize that stuff. I don't know.
Well, I'm whatever I am, but if you weren't telling me to shut up, I wasn't getting enough attention. That was the way I looked at it. But I like to terrorize my teachers. But anyway, so you got a very family-friendly channel. I love that. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I love too much in this world is angry and negative, and I love happy families. I love sharing happy families. There are a billion out there, and for me, I like your channel. I'm just going to speak for my own self now. I like your channel because it's Disney content, but I stay because you're a family-friendly, happy human who does things I like. Is that what you're going for? I'm guessing it is.
It is. I mean, that's kind of like what I want. I've always wanted to be a family-oriented channel. Copa, don't come after me. It's not made for kids, but I always wanted it to be, that anyone could watch it, and that's kind of the channels that I started gravitating toward myself before I even started my own channel, and so I want to make it that focus. Like there's a couple of channels that I watched a lot more when I first started, who weren't as family friendly and were more like a snarky type of spin on Disney. And as much as I like that, that's just not my personality.
There's not a lot of snark in the Disney community. There's no doubt about it.
There's not anymore, but I feel like back when I started in 2017, there were a couple of different channels where that was kind of like that dry humor was kind of like in. Yeah. I don't know. Like there's a girl named Sarah Sterling. I don't think she's been. Yeah. She hasn't really like done videos in months now. I mean, it's just
pushing on Instagram. She was with a group, and they kind of, it's a whole thing. We're going to talk about but that's all right.
But yeah, so I mean, there were definitely people that I was watching that I liked. They're like Mr. Cheesy Pop. He's based in California. I'm in California, and I really like that like bubbly personality. I'm like, that's me.
So, I like him a lot too. I've been trying to get him in my baseball. I'm trying to get him in my Disney YouTuber baseball league. He was almost a yes last year. Then he was thinking about it this year.
That's so cool.
He's a big Dodgers fan too.
And he is.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his, but I don't know him. But we've talked back and forth through Instagram and such, but but baseball just doesn't happen. But anyway, hopefully this year. Julie McGowan, I think I might have said hi. If I didn't, I'll say hi. Well, hi twice, maybe it's okay too. Detroit Disney Duo in the house. Andrea Houston in the house. What's going on, my friend? Christina, your channel has lots of collaborations, lots of ears. We're going to talk about your ears that are on your head. You buy a lot of ears, you make ears, you buy a lot of stuff, and you share it with us.
Making ears is like a new thing. So I made these ears that are on my head. I think it's actually the first time I'm showing this. So, but my daughter was in school until end of June 12th. June 12th was her last day of school. And I know that because that was my anniversary date. Oh, okay. And since June 12th, I have been crafting up a storm. Like I finally feel like I have some free time to just like not be a teacher's aide and just focusing on that. So I've been having a lot of fun experimenting with new styles and making ears, but I am obsessed with ears. I have a whole ear wall behind me. If you guys have watched my channel before.
You're blocking it, but we kind of.
I'm blocking it. It's
no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in our view, I think. Maybe 8, maybe 9, actually.
I did a video, Jeff, where I talked about how many ears I had, and I wasn't expecting it to be that many. And I had like 60.
I saw that one.
Yeah, I had like 60 something, and I was like, wow, that's really embarrassing.
I don't know how many my wife has. I think she'll probably give you a run for your money.
Probably more. I think more.
I don't know. Like honestly, I think I've asked her a bunch of times on a show with her and then just in our life. I think she's not here, so I can say this. And then hi, sweetie. She doesn't watch hardly ever. Whatever. She doesn't, I think, want to know how many she has. I think it's not that she doesn't want people to know. I think she doesn't want to know. I think she just wants to live in the I don't really have that many bubble.
Yeah, well, that's how I am with my pins.
I have 20 years of hers. I think maybe there's one that are mine because they're collectible. I think I have 20 that are hers just in this room, and that's not even in her closet. In the house, what's going on? I interrupted you. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I interrupted you, but I was gonna say that that's how I am with my pins. Like I started to count my Little Mermaid collection recently, and I was like, I probably shouldn't do this because every time my husband asks me how much does that, he's only asked me a couple times. He knows better, but he's asked me more recently, a lot more frequently. He'll be like, how much does that pin cost? I'm like, do you really want to know? And he's just like, so all those pins, he's like, when I look at that board, all I see is money down the drain. And he wants to kill me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of like on eBay. I don't want to know.
If I go on eBay, I have to go on eBay right before I get paid because I don't have any money then. Because if I go right after I get paid, I'm really hurting for the next week and a half or whatever. Dizzy Dealer, hello to you. Somebody else. Oh no. Oh, you love it. Thank you, Rachel. I thought I saw a question. Maybe I'm crazy. Does Jeff have his Jeff shirt on? I don't know what you're talking about, Mar. And if I did, I wouldn't admit to it. Okay.
Disney Dealer is August 5th. She was asking when my daughter's birthday is.
Oh, that's sweet. I love that. See, I love that. Welcome in, Dizzy Dealer. You do a lot of unboxings.
I do.
Oh, and I got to talk about your anniversary. Let's talk about your anniversary. We're sticking on the family thing for a minute.
Aww.
That was so sweet. Well, it was the most recent video, unless you did something today. The most recent video that I saw of yours was posted maybe yesterday, day before. I'm not really sure. It's a weekend. I don't even know what day it is anymore. But
small video.
Well, no, your anniversary. You went to dinner with your hubby, and
yeah,
I think that was very sweet. You shared your anniversary. How many years have you been married? I heard, but I want you to tell people.
So I posted June 12th or June 13th. I posted actually a video that I made for my husband. And then I just decided to share with my channel for the first time. I don't really show like the inner workings. First of all, my husband doesn't like to be on camera. So he has only ever been in my channel twice, ever. And so for him to allow me to put that on my channel was a big deal, because he was
cool
like,
then, yeah.
Yeah. So he was like, okay, I guess I'll just let you put that on. But I've been married for 10 years.
I watched it. I don't know. Was it today? It might have been last night. Whenever I watched it, he didn't look nervous at all. If I don't remember him looking nervous, I would have remembered if he did.
Well, he was more like, you're filming. Okay, I guess I'll do it.
Yeah, my family makes that face too.
He's kind of learned he doesn't really have a choice anymore.
Yeah. I think me and you have a lot in common.
I think so.
Stacey Rogers in the house. Viper says, dream big. Amen to that. I love that. RTD, Road Trip Dave, my buddies in the house. What up to you, my friend? The Dupley Crew's in the house. Hello, how are you? Tina McNeil in the house. Well, we're getting I bet Pete's show ended because everybody's coming over. Corner Sports. I don't have your email. Corner Sports, I tried to email you. DoleWhipDad@gmail.com. Reach out. We'll finish that conversation. Geeking out with Melly Mel, my friend. How are you? What's going on? Pete McDevitt, I was just talking to you. Viper sent you. Pete sent you. Pete, you had a great job. Did a great job. Marshmallow Man, hey buddy, long time no see. How you doing? Tim Pruitt's in the house. Kay Atwood, if I missed you, Hitchhiking Bones, don't take it personally. Love you all. Thanks for being here. I think I got everybody out. I probably missed it. So you missed a couple things about her channel, but that's all right. We're going to talk about some more awesome. What was your goal? What was your goal when you first started your channel? Was it to share family fun? Was it get to talk about more in Disney? Because I feel like I watched somebody who, and again, tell me if I'm wrong, watch somebody who was going to do a family friendly, I want to share my mommy life, and now the Disney thing's kind of taking it over. Am I right? Kind of a restatement of my first question, just for the new people.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right. So it was baby registry videos for the most part at the beginning, and then I did my first Disney unboxing. Yep. That went over well, and that was basically what I wanted to do, was just focus on Disney trips, Disney unboxings, Disney hauls, because I just go shopping a lot.
On Disney.
Yeah, spending money on Disney. The things that a lot of us have in common.
Right. And you're in Southern California. How often you get to the Disney parks? I know you're in SoCal, so how often you get to the Disney parks?
Well, now never, because we're closed. But
when the world was normal.
Yeah, I actually became a pass holder last July. So since July last year, I was going every month, definitely, maybe like every 2 weeks.
Nice. And
I did that before I became a pass holder as well, but I was going to downtown Disney, which is different. It's just a free area. Sure. And I would just go to check out like the new merchandise in World of Disney. But it's been a lot different being a pass holder and getting the chance to go as much as I wanted to, which was nice, because then I could just go in for a couple hours and then I'm like, all right, that's it, and then leave and then come back in a month and get whatever new merchandise item is, or go on one ride and be like, I'm good for today. But yeah, I love going to Disney. It's like my favorite place in the world. A lot of people don't know this, but I grew up in Miami.
Oh.
So I was 4 hours and change from the Disney park, from Walt Disney World, and I used to go every other week for a very long time when I lived in Florida, and I wanted to get back to that. So it's been nice to do that when I lived in California.
You're bringing back memories, and you're making me jealous. I loved living in California. I also loved leaving California. Y'all crazy out there, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, that's how I was with Florida. I love Florida to an extent, but I was so ready to leave. When I graduated from high school, I was like, I'm never going to live here ever again, because I just don't do well. And first of all, Florida is like intensely hot all the time, and I am very sensitive to humidity. My hair gets all ridiculous, and
Miami's the place to be then. Yeah, that's the perfect.
Miami's the place to not be then.
Right. say. Yeah, again, talking about weather talk with Christina and Jeff. I had no idea how weather could suck so bad outside of San Diego. Even LA is horrible compared to San Diego, and it's 90 minutes if there's a decent traffic that day. Yeah. I love LA. I'm born in LA, but I grew up in San Diego. And moving out here, I did the opposite of you. You get to go to Disney a lot. You did then and you do now. We used to go to Disneyland. Well, by we, if I talk about my wife and my kids all the dang time, I would go to work, they would go to Disney. That's why I'm grumpy all the time. But I miss that so much. I mean, I love living in Texas, but I miss that. And when you say you can just go and do one ride and go hang out at downtown Disney, that's what we used to do. That's my jam. I know. When my daughters were little, that's what we did. And you're doing it now with your little kids.
I feel bad saying that because I know that it's a privilege to be able to do that. But yeah, I mean, I completely understand. When I left Florida, I actually lived in New York, and I was there for about 9 years, and I missed Disney then too. I would go like as much as I could, but that was probably like every year, not every other week. So
I'm going to have fun then asking you Disneyland and DCA questions, because normally I've got an Orlando, whether they live there or they go to Orlando. I missed the Disneyland talk, so we're going to do it. I'm going to pretend like it's just me for a while. No, I'll talk to you, Jeff. But favorite land in Disneyland, and by the way, there is a right answer. Do you need to look above me?
That's not my favorite land.
Well, I will forgive you.
I know it's yours because it's your backdrop, but if I'm talking, my favorite land is Cars Land in California Adventure. But if you're talking about Disneyland, my favorite land, I don't know. Probably I like Haunted Mansion, so I'll go with that. I like walking around there.
I guess New Orleans Square, I guess. New Orleans Square, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
They have the best churro by far in Disneyland. So if you're going for a churro, the churro cart by Haunted Mansion is absolutely delicious, and they have a good chocolate dipping sauce.
So I love that, and I love the specificity. But when I was there, and this has been over a decade now, we've lived in Texas for 10 years, so I don't claim that it's true now, but DCA in the evening, right outside of Tower of Terror, were the best churros. I knew the cart lady. That's how
I don't think I've had them there.
Well, I
know what you're talking about. There is a location there, but I don't think I get churros there. That's so weird.
My girls would go and they'd bring their friends, and they'd be going up and down doing it over and over again. Me and Paul. I mean, I was in shape before I learned about that. Now I'm, not. Love those churros so much. Well, that's a good segue. Favorite Disney snack. That's on my list anyway. So let's just go.
You bring a good point though. Like that's one benefit of going to the Disney park so frequently. You get your exercise. You get your cardio going.
Yeah. Now I just continue the eating part, not the working part.
Exactly. We have Mickey ice cream pops in the freezer, and we're like, ooh, Disney.
Right? Are Disney Mickey Pops your favorite Disney snack? What's your favorite Disney snack?
No, ice cream, regular ice cream. I like soft serve.
In the parks?
In the parks, yeah. So like if I go to the Plaza, the ice cream parlor, like Gibson in DCA, and then the one right next to on Main Street.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's just stay on Main Street. I love Casey's Corner. I love the Emporium. Come on, I love it all. I love the Starbucks. What's your favorite place on Main Street and why? And I did not name my favorite. I'll tell you afterwards in case some of the veterans of my channel will know my favorite. But what's your favorite on Main Street?
I like going to Jolly Holiday, but that's off Main Street.
Yeah.
But that is a fun experience every time. I will wait the 30-minute line. There's always a 30-minute line, no matter what time of day you go. And they just have the best treats there. They have really good hot chocolate. And I'm a big hot chocolate person, especially at the Disney park. So I will wait for that. And they have really good seasonal offerings too. Like they're usually the ones that like, if there's a really big popcorn bucket that it's hard to find, they usually have it there.
Oh, really?
Or they have like the treat or whatnot. Yeah. So it's a good place to go.
Good tip. For me, it's the fire station and looking up where Walt's light is. I love that.
Have you taken the tour?
I have not. I will someday.
That was the best tour I've ever taken in my entire life. That was an experience.
Tell us about that. What did you like best about that? Let's go down.
My favorite part was seeing Walt's apartment, and it's a really tiny little space right above the firehouse. And they tell you a lot of history. So if you are a big Disney buff, you probably know a lot of it. Like a lot of it I did know, but it's just cool to see like the little nuances and Walt's thought that he put into every part of planning the park. And then at the very end, as a treat, they split up the group in half. So half goes into the firehouse and the other half just stays out and has lunch. And then they switch, and then you get to go up and you get to see like the space that he and his wife lived in when they stayed at the park, and he watched out the window, the people walking down Main Street. And he has like this really small little grill grate on his kitchen because they've kept it maintained for the most part. They've restored some things, like I think the carpeting they had to restore a little bit because it's gotten dated. And some of the chairs they replaced, and the picture, they have a replica of what used to be there because I think his family actually took the picture with them. But at any rate, there's this little grate in the apartment, and that's where he made grilled cheeses. I don't know why that particular fact just stuck with me, but I can just imagine him like sitting there making a grilled cheese on that little like small little grate. And I'm like, it's just amazing. I'm just like, I want a grilled cheese with Walt. Like that's just
I know. Make me a grilled cheese. I just popped Christina's link for Playdates and Travels. Go check out her channel. Give her some love. Obviously, she's a lot of fun, family friendly, lots of Disney, lots of family stuff. Hello, RJ. How are you? Cheat Meal, Food Cat. That's my sister's favorite ride, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I love that ride too at Disneyland. That's only in Disneyland and not in Florida anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I actually I had to get the pin. I was down there, I guess it was last October, and it was the, I don't know, 70th, 80th, whatever, something with a zero on the end of the anniversary of that. And
60th?
Whatever, I don't know.
About a couple years ago?
Yeah, well, it was for Mr. Toad and.
Oh, Mr. Toad. Yeah. It was his anniversary in October. You're right. Last year.
So I had to get the pins, and I love that. I loved Ichabod Crane was probably my favorite thing to watch when I was 4, 5, 6, 7 at Halloween. That was my jam. Love it.
I grew up watching that too, believe it or not.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Anyway, yeah, so please check out her channel, guys. And if you haven't already, you're going to love it. You can tell by now that you've been listening to her. Give her a channel and give her some love. So what is your favorite thing about being a Disney YouTuber?
My favorite thing? That's a good question. Ooh. What is my favorite thing? My favorite thing is by far talking about Disney nonstop and getting a chance to talk about Disney, because in my family, my parents are sick of it. My sister's sick of it. My husband never wants to talk about it. My kids love it, but my husband tolerates it through me. Like, so everyone who's ever known me my entire life knows that I'm a big Disney freak or fan, whatever you want to call it. And I've always been that way. Like, my dad gave a speech at my wedding about that, about how I was obsessed with Disney.
Wow.
Yeah, it's always been a big part of my life. And people who really know me know that, like, that's like my obsession, especially if they come over and they see my Disney stuff. Yeah, so getting a chance to actually talk about it and not be judged for my love of Disney and just be, just be a fangirl.
You're still being judged, but it's good judgment, right?
Yeah, good judgment.
Yeah.
If someone says something negative, then I can delete it. But I actually haven't had that in probably 2 years. Probably when I first started, I had like negativity.
Try being a dude. Like I moved out to Texas, and again, I work with kids, and so we have think Boys and Girls Clubs. We run after school programs. It used to be Boys and Girls Clubs. We went independent now. It doesn't matter. The point is, in California, we'd have the baseball card club and the ping pong club and all the clubs, including a Disney club. We move out here to Texas and we do the same thing.
Yeah.
And we have a Disney club, and the kids are like, wait, what is this? I'm like, I don't understand.
Oh, and then, that's so sad.
And it's with my neighbors. And so now I took it upon myself to be the Disney Pied Piper in town. But anyway, it is what it is. I can totally relate. And that is probably one of the neatest things about this Disney community, right? Like, come on, we can talk about Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I'm not.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I'll say a small reference and you'll get it. Yeah, it's great.
Exactly. Thanks for letting me.
Complete works, and we love it.
Exactly. Cheat Meal, Food Cat. Glad you were here. See you in the morning. I hope. Have a great night. So you talked about collecting, and I'm thinking about Mr. Toad's and the pin now. You collect pins. Well, I'll shut up. What do you collect, and what do you love best in your collections? I'll shut up.
I mostly collect at this point pins just because they're small, and my husband will say things like, where are you going to put that? So pins are great because you can't really see. If I come home with a bag of pins, you can't see it. I can fit it in my purse. It's completely a great way to just have merchandise without being known about it.
Ears are harder. I hear you. I see you.
I'm a sneak. Yes, I am. But I really like to collect ears. I have a lot of ears, and that's probably the thing that I buy the most these days. T-shirts. I'm pretty standard about T-shirts. And then I like collectible figures. I don't have that many, but I just started to collect a little bit of it, and I really like that. And I like popcorn buckets.
So I love you so much. You said, I don't really collect anything except for Disney things. And the first thing I thought was, she already said she has over 60 ears. And then you went on a list of all the things. Hubby, I'm with you. I totally understand. I don't know if you can hear me.
He doesn't watch my channel, so he's not going to hear.
My wife actually does a little bit now, but it took me a while to get her. Now she's on the show a lot. But anyway, I love that. I'm a Disney pin guy too, as you well know. We've been in a couple. I don't remember what collabs we were in together. Was it? I think it was a Disney pin one. I don't know. What I'm talking
about. I sent you your pins for the Disney pin collab. That's
there you go. That's what it was. I thought so. Yeah. Anyway, what's your how do I ask this? What's your favorite kind of video to make? That's a better way. I was going to say that differently. What's your favorite kind of video to make for your channel? And more importantly, why? Hi, Jennifer.
My favorite video to do is a Disney unboxing. I've done a lot of, I've done over 20 different companies that are out there. And I even have a video series on my channel where I talk about the best Disney boxes. If you're looking for a Disney subscription box, like I've dissected the good and the bad, about 20 different companies, and I've done it twice. I'm actually hoping to do another 2020 edition this year because a lot of companies are now defunct. There's new companies, and there's always new information to be had. So I really like doing those videos because I love getting surprise Disney stuff in the mail. If you guys haven't gotten that already, I'm really into Disney merchandise in general, so it makes me happy. And those videos are among the most popular on my channel too. I can't lie about that. Like if I do a Disney unboxing, I tend to get a lot more views than if I just do a mail video.
You're happy when you open them. Your happiness is pretty evident. So that,
I'm super happy. I love it.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. So as much as those are my favorite to do, I don't do them that often because they are like $60 and up. Like I live in California. A lot of these companies are in Florida. So shipping across country gets expensive, and I'm paying for that cost. So
if you want to sponsor her,
that wasn't where I was going. But if you do, if someone wants to sponsor me, feel free.
It's easy. You know how you do it.
Accepting sponsorships.
Actually, that's my next show. We're not tonight. We're not talking about sponsorships tonight, but
I like where you're going with that, Jeff.
But seriously, it's expensive. I mean, I give away pins, and I hardly ever mail them. They just sit in a stack right there. But it gets expensive. So hey, you want to help out Christina? You love her unboxings. I'm looking at you people in chat. Reach out to her, email her. Maybe you'll work something out. Doing well. I'll get good. Everybody's talking in chat. I love the conversations in chat. Thanks for being here, guys. Actually, let me drop your link again. It's been a while. If you just got in here, or even if you didn't just get in here, here's the link to her channel. Go give her some love. Check out her channel. Okay, favorite YouTubers outside of the Disney realm. So I don't want to hear about a Disney YouTuber. I want to hear about something you watch on YouTube that's not Disney. And if there's no answer, then we're going to have to talk about TV and movies and such.
My favorite is the Crosbys, the Crosby family.
I've heard of them, but I don't think I know them. Why would are they huge? Is that why I've heard of them?
They've been on Ellen. It started out as a father and daughter duo who sang a bunch of they did Disney stuff. So that's how I got with them. But they actually just show they show their family. They show themselves opening different things. They show their house. They show themselves talking about whatever. So they are kind of Disney related in some of their videos, but it's just a family. Cool. Showing their life, and they're just a really unique family. So I kind of do watch them a lot. There's another father-daughter duo that just started singing. I'm really into musicals and musical theater, so singing videos really gets me. And there's one that's Matt and Savannah Shaw. They just started doing videos during this pandemic. Literally, she started posting in March, and they've blown up. I think they have I don't know, upwards of 300,000 subscribers, something like that, because they literally just post videos of the two of them singing, like whatever song. They've done some Disney songs. They've done opera. They did.
They just started in March. They have how many do they have?
They started in March, and now I swear the last time I saw they were over 300,000, and they're starting to get media attention a lot more too.
Hold on. We got to put the break. We're going to do a duet because I need some subscribers. So apparently that's what I need to do. No, I'm just kidding. I love that. Actually, a lot of people have blown up right now. It's a pretty good time. My channel. Yeah. But I'm having a great time seeing and learning about and finding new people. And I love that. Like I've talked about already on the show tonight, I love those family friendly things. My wife and my daughters love those family singing things. I'm not going to pretend like I listen to them. I don't, but I do through them. Right. And it's pretty neat.
They're fun. It's fun seeing other families. Like I've watched the Bucket List family. They do their travels. Yeah, I guess the most that I watch, other than
they have a Disney angle now too. They did the Disney thing. Sorry, I interrupted.
Yeah, they got sponsored. They got to stay in 30 hotels in a row and
cool.
That was really cool. But at any rate, yeah. So I watch mostly families, or I watch musical theater, like Broadway people. Like I've been watching a lot of Hamilton stuff lately, and all kinds. Yeah.
But you need to sing right now. We just talked about the 300,000 subscribers. No, so I obviously Disney Plus, Hamilton's out. My daughter was nuts about Hamilton. I knew the music because my goodness, she can't stop singing it, and she's just down the hallway. But that said, it was pretty awesome. Like I watched it last night. It came on, but I had a busy weekend and family and stuff. But I watched it last night, and even knowing I love American history, so I know the story and I know the songs because I have a teenage daughter. But wow, was it good watching it all in the right order.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, what was unique about it is that we turned the lights off, and I have 2 small kids. We talked about that already. Normally, we can't sit through a movie in one sitting without having to pause and, I have to go to the bathroom, or I need a snack, or I need this, whatever. For whatever reason, I think because we started watching at like 9 o'clock at night, my kids were already tired. So my daughter kind of cuddled up next to me. My son was actually still for like the first half hour at least, and then he started playing by himself and not really caring. But we sat and watched the 3-hour show straight through without stopping, and I was really impressed by that. And it was like being in the theater.
That's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
It was really as awesome as they said it was going to be. Again, I just watched it last night, and I'm not even into musical theater. I'm into American history, but I obviously love Lin-Manuel Miranda. He's a stud. He's just amazing.
Moana.
Yeah, he cried.
Make way. No, what's cool is that if you're not a musical theater person, you probably might like it because it's about history, but also it's rap. It's like a different style, so it's not typical musical theater either.
So it's interesting you say that. I felt like a little kind of an old guy. Like, I don't know, one of the kids hit what is it even called, where they put the subtitles on accident. And I'm like, usually I turn that off. And I'm like, no, you know what? This is going to work. And it was awesome. Because I watched it with subtitles, and I'm like,
we watch everything in my house with subtitles now because otherwise we can't watch TV with the kids. They get loud, so we keep the captions on pretty much all the time when watching movies out there. So we had them on too.
My 18-year-old said, "This is a better way to watch TV, Dad." We had this whole conversation last night, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I think it's kind of an epiphany for me last night. But anyway,
you don't miss what's being said. You're like, what do they say? Okay, I can read it. Okay, we're good.
A couple of them, like, was it Thomas Jefferson? He was rapping pretty dang fast. And anyway, good stuff.
Well, the opening of that musical, my husband's first words were, he's like, "This is a lot of information." Because it's so Spitfire, and it's a lot of information to dissect. So just being able to read the story kind of helped too.
You know, Rod Chernow is the history the stud that wrote the book that Lin-Manuel Miranda read, fell in love with it, and the book is massive, and the play is the whole dang thing. So they really do squeeze it in pretty fast there. It's
wow. That's cool that you read it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I listened to it on audiobook. I'm a nerd that way. But anyway, let's get back to Disney. So we talked a little bit about Disneyland. We talked about Haunted Mansion area is your favorite area. We talked about Main Street a little bit, but you mentioned DCA and you mentioned Cars Land, Disney's California Adventure. I loved it. I miss it. What's your favorite thing about Disney's California Adventure that's not Cars Land?
Before I go into your question, I want to go back to what you just said. With the reason that I said New Orleans Square was my favorite, by the way, was it also was Walt's favorite. That was his favorite area of the park, and it's something that's unique to that park, to Disneyland. It's not in Florida, so it's a completely new land to me, the way it's all based off of New Orleans. I've never been to New Orleans, but it kind of looks like a lot of the pictures that I've seen of New Orleans, and would love to go someday. So that's kind of why I like that area also. I
would say it's exactly like New Orleans, only less homeless people in the park. I mean, my goodness. It's, first of all, beignets. You know, it really is like that area that's the iconic, I don't know, it's like a...
And that's my favorite restaurant in Disneyland, too, the French Market place right there.
Okay. Have you been in the Blue Bayou?
I have never been to Blue Bayou. It's hard to get a reservation. I mean, it's expensive, but I have tried to get a reservation a couple times, and it's always been sold out. But someday. I've been to Cafe Orleans, though. And that was good.
There you go. Oh, my gosh, what's the drink? Beignets.
Mint julep?
Yes, thank you. I was going to say the green thing. I couldn't remember Mitchell.
The green thing.
Good stuff. Okay, so back to DCA. Favorite thing about DCA that's not Cars Land, because I know you already said Cars Land.
My favorite thing about DCA is the Lunar New Year Festival.
Ooh, yeah, I love that answer. I didn't expect that. Tell me, I want a Monte Cristo too, Stacy. Tell me why that.
That sandwich is good. It's really rich. So the Lunar New Year Festival is also something that is unique to Disneyland. They don't do that in Florida. So when I first moved out here and saw that they had a whole festival dedicated to that in January and February, I just thought it was really cool. I'm really into Chinese food in general or in Asian cuisine. So for me, it fits because I like the food and the culture that they're showcasing. And one of my favorite parts of Epcot always was seeing the acrobats perform in China in Epcot. So in the Lunar New Year Festival, you get a little bit more of that just during that time of year. And it's just a really cool festival. I blogged about it last year and the year before on my channel because I just really enjoyed it. So it's one of the most unique things they do there. In addition to that, they also have a holiday festival and they have the food and wine festival they brought back. So there's different festivals at DCA. So that's cool too. I like eating and drinking.
So tell me about the food and wine festival out there. I love food and wine in Epcot. I've not been to one in California.
I am so bummed. I actually was going to go this year and they had just opened maybe a week and a half before the parks closed and I had not yet gone. And it's funny because I didn't go last year. I actually started my pass after that time and they brought it back only 3 years ago now. I did go when they first brought it back. And to be honest, my husband and I thought it kind of sucked.
Oh, no.
Well, because it was very kind of, they rushed into doing it. They made it small. They were trying to like experiment with doing a select number of booths. And they also advertised it as only being a weekend only exclusive thing, that the booths would not be serving food during the week. And so we bought tickets specifically on that weekend, like a bonus ticket on top of the ticket I already had. And then I went on a Friday and they were open. And I was so mad about that because I was like, they advertised it both in the Disney food blog and on the Disneyland website that it was a weekend only festival. But then they were letting people go to the festival during the week. So I kind of felt like I got my money taken twice for no reason. And that was me and my husband's ticket and my daughter. But at any rate, when they first started, the courses were kind of like, I don't know, I didn't really think the food was that great, and they didn't really have that much of a variety of dishes. This year, however, they had, the past 2 years they've expanded it, and I was excited to try it and see what my thoughts were, but I never got a chance to go. So I can't really give you guys too much information about how it is now because I didn't get to go.
Understandable.
But I love the one at Florida.
Yeah, so you do? I talked over. You love the one in Florida, is that what you said?
Yeah, Food and Wine Festival is my favorite time to go in Florida.
Me too. Favorite. Well, let me say hi in chat, and then I'll get back to World Showcase. Part of your world, David or Jess, welcome in. I'm so glad you're here. Somebody else popped in. I was going to say hi to somebody else. Was it David Hoffman? I think is in my head. I'm not sure. Yep, there you go. David Hoffman's in the house. What's going on, David? And by the way, Corner Sports Thomas, I got your email. Thank you very much, Hannah. I hope you feel better. Okay, so. Well, World Showcase. What's your favorite? World Showcase is my favorite. Epcot's my favorite. World Showcase specifically is my favorite.
My favorite.
What's your favorite pavilion?
My favorite pavilion is, that's a hard question. I really like a lot of them. I don't know. I have different answers. That's a tough question. All right, my favorites, I'm going to cheat. China, because I mentioned the acrobatic dancers, and they have boba tea, which I love boba tea, so I'm all about that. I really like the Mexico area because they have a ride. One of the few places in World Showcase that there's an attraction that you can go to. The food there is great. The drinks there are great if you drink. There's always something fun there. And when I was a kid, growing up in Florida, Mexico and China, actually, both of them, were probably the two most frequented pavilions that we went to, because my family also really likes Asian cuisine, so they're all about China. And then with Mexico, I had a school project where we had to talk about Mexico. And I went to Disney World, bought a bunch of maracas and like sombreros and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, I'm ready to talk about Mexico. So I made it a school project. So yeah, it's always been part of my life growing up. So I like those two pavilions a lot. And I like the American pavilion. Only one thing there. I don't like the American pavilion in general. I should say that. I don't really like the American pavilion because I kind of feel like we could get rid of it a little bit.
The first time I've ever had a guest argue with herself. I'm just saying.
Well, I'm like, wait a second. I like one thing specifically there, which is during the Food and Wine Festival, they have the lobster roll, which is delicious.
Yes.
And I love that. During the Festival of the Arts just this past January, they also had this 3 dipping chocolate thing that was amazing. And that was at the American Pavilion. So because of that, I'm like, the food there was just great. But there's one thing that American Pavilion has that the other pavilions don't have, and that is a show called Voices of Liberty, which, again, going back to the music thing, is an a cappella show where people come out and they sing, and they have beautiful voices. It's like a lot of people don't know about that. I don't really like to sit around and watch a lot of the live performances at Disney, but I will always make time for Voices of Liberty to watch that because it's like listening to angels sing. I just really like it a lot.
The acoustics in that room are amazing, and for somebody who doesn't like the American Pavilion, you really like the American Pavilion. Just saying. I do agree with you. Those lobster rolls are amazing. I did see those the chocolate dipping. I didn't get it, but actually I think my wife might have got it, but I didn't try it. I don't remember it.
They also had I think they had a filet mignon. They had it was the British dish. I'm like blanking right now. Beef Wellington. They had a beef Wellington dish there as well during the Festival of the Arts, and that was really good. If you guys haven't noticed so far, I'm a real big foodie, so I love talking about food. I love eating food.
I love the food and wine. I don't know if I'm a foodie. I'm just a big guy who likes to eat, but the food and wine is my jam. I mean, you talked about the Mexican Pavilion. They had I can go forever. I want to talk to you, so I'm not even going to let myself go here. But I love food and wine, and I love Epcot in general and World Showcase. Now, being an Epcot fan, are you excited about the changes, or are you annoyed about the changes? Where do you come out on that? Everybody's mad or excited. Nobody's in the middle. So
I'm kind of lukewarm, only because I feel like Epcot does need some changes. It's been the same since the 80s. So yeah, they definitely need to change some of it. But to be honest, I haven't been following too closely a lot of the details because I want to be surprised when I get there. So I started to listen to some of the reports, and then I kind of stopped paying attention to the designs and everything because I want to be surprised. So I can't say if I'm going to be happy with it or not, but I'm happy they're keeping Spaceship Earth alone because that's like one of my favorite things to do is to go into that big ball and see the ride. So
that's interesting. So you just said that I as a Disneylander, when I go in Spaceship Earth, I feel like I'm transported into the 70s version of a ride. So I think they need to fix that one.
But it's fun. I mean, they've updated it already. Judi Dench's voice is now on it. They didn't have that before.
I wouldn't say that. If they haven't done it for 15 years, I'm not going to call that an update.
I don't know. I mean, as long as they keep some version of that ride, I just don't want them to tinker with it too much because they tinkered with the Figment ride, and I hate the Figment ride now. It used to be a lot better when they had the Dreamfinder. It's not the same ride. It's kind of a skip. Like if there's no line, we'll go on it. But if there is a line, I don't really want to waste my time going inside because I have Figment in my room. Like I grew up with Figment, and he was a big part of the mascot of that park. And over the years, people don't know who Figment is anymore because you barely see him in the park. You barely see him in that ride. He's just kind of like a caricature. So I don't want them to do that with Spaceship Earth as they did with Figment because it's kind of like a bad ride now.
As a Disneylander, when I first went to Walt Disney World, it was at Epcot. I finally had to pull a cast member sign, like, what's going on with Elliot? He doesn't look like Elliot to me. That's Elliot. And Figment's a big deal out there.
Elliot's purple.
I know. What happened? Is he sick? What's going on? I don't know. I'm not. I like some Elliot merch. I don't quite get it, but that's because I didn't grow up there like you did. You know, it's part of the Orlando
Figment
thing. Yeah.
I have Figment and Elliot stuffed animals.
Elliot is big in my house. Figment, not so much. Let's go there.
Did you like the new Elliot, the new Pete's Dragon that came out?
No, we don't even let anybody in the house talk about it. That's how much we dislike that one.
Yeah.
The first one is my wife's all-time favorite thing. The second one was an attempt to get me on the political side. Like I don't even know. That was really dumb. It was really dumb.
I agree.
Like super dumb. You ruined. I could have wrote that. I don't even drink. You could have got me drunk, and I could have wrote a better version of that. Like what the heck? I don't know. It's horrible. It's probably, if you ask me the worst Disney movie, I'm probably going with the remake of. Yeah. Favorite Disney character? We've been talking about characters. Figment, you mentioned. You got somebody on your head there. Who's your favorite character? And more importantly, why?
My favorite is Ariel. Because it was my first ever Disney movie that I remember seeing when I was little, and I thought I was a mermaid. I wanted to be a mermaid. I thought she was great. I love her song when she loses her voice. It captures you. I thought Eric was hot.
Yeah, I wanted to meet the mermaids because I thought Ariel was hot. You know, can I say that? Is it creepy now that I'm 50? When I was a little guy, when I was younger.
When I met Eric in person at the trattoria, what's it called? The dining that they have in Florida, I was just like, Eric, I love you.
So I have to tell you the story. We're in Disneyland. Swiss Family Treehouse turns into Tarzan Treehouse, so it's Tarzan now. It's a ways back, but Tarzan was certainly a fairly new. It became the Tarzan Treehouse fairly recent to the story I'm about to tell. And I'm with my wife, and we're having a great time. And we get off of, we checked out the Tarzan Treehouse for the first time. It was awesome, and they have at the bottom Tarzan and Jane. And I'm telling you, it was human adult people, but it was freaking Tarzan and like the dude didn't have a shirt on, and I've never wanted to do so much in my life. He was like chiseled, and then she was like exactly her. Like it freaked me I'm freaking out right now, like 20 years later. I don't even know if we have pictures of it. If my wife is here, we talk about it. It was the creepiest, most awesome, terrifying, weirdest moment of my life. They were perfect.
Yeah.
And that dude, like, I'm still mad at him. I don't think I did any sit-ups from that moment on in my life because I knew I would never get to that point. It's Apple in the house. What's going on? Favorite meet and greet ever, or favorite meet and greet you want to do, or you can answer both.
My favorite meet and greet was meeting Ariel, for the same reasons, because I was wearing like an Ariel shirt or something that day.
After what you just said, I guess I could have guessed that. I should have.
Yeah, so we talked about that. I mean, I've had some cool meet and greets. I met the bears from
Country Bear.
From what?
Country Bear Jamboree.
From Country Bear Jamboree, yes. I met those bears, and that was a unique meet and greet experience, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I always like meeting Mickey Mouse. So Mickey Mouse, when he just shakes your hand, he's like, oh, like, I just think that's great.
That's a good one. Did you like Talking Mickey, or were you more down with Silent?
I thought Talking Mickey was cool. So, I mean, I wish that they took him away, right?
Yeah, they did. And I've never heard anyone who didn't like it. Everyone loved it.
Yeah.
They did take it away. I don't know why. I just dropped the link again for Christina's channel. Check it out. It's Play Dates and Travels. Very family friendly, very Disney, very unboxing, very her. And you should go check it out if you haven't already. Get over there, subscribe.
I see Cynthia's comment. That's hilarious. Yeah, I was gonna say the Tarzan show that they used to have. I'm with Kelly. I want that back too because of the gymnastics, the acrobats.
I don't think I remember that. Tell me more. There was a Tarzan show.
There was a Tarzan show for a short time. I think it was in Animal Kingdom, if I'm not mistaken. I forget which. I think it was Animal Kingdom, but yeah, they had a show kind of similar to like the Lion King show, but it was all about Tarzan, and he would swing around, and it was great to see them do that. And I know that Kelly on some live, it was a Spilling the Disney Tea, her live that she does on Fridays. She mentioned recently that she was all about like she was getting the sweats when Tarzan was out. So what you're talking about with him being chiseled and everything, but yeah,
I'm feeling that. I'm going to ask you about your Grail pin because Cynthia asked about that. But before I get to that, Life with Roxana says, "Where'd you get your ears?" I know the answer, but I think this is a good segue. You've got some pretty awesome ears on your head. What's going on?
So I made these ears on my head. I actually am making another pair right now. But yeah, this is my own invention. And I found a picture online of what the tour guides wear, the plaid. And I printed out a picture, made this fabric myself. And I made the name tag. So this is all custom.
That was a name tag, but now I do, obviously.
Yeah, so the name tag says my channel name, and the bow I made. So yeah, I'm happy with these. I'm like, these are cool.
That's very cool. Hold on 1 second. My computer is not plugged in, and it just got light, and I don't want to lose you, as I've done before with other people. That would not be good.
Thanks, Andrew.
Anyway, and do you sell your ears?
No, not yet.
I was gonna say I thought you did.
I mean, I'm contemplating starting a shop. I don't know. I like making different ears. These are foam ears, and for the most part, I've bought like the fabric ears, and I'm really having fun like crafting out of foam. So
that's cool.
I made a pair of alien ears recently too. I made a pumpkin ears.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Disney Giants in the house. What's going on? D, I'm glad you're here. Cynthia, or Chris, Kenny Mom. All the C's. Kenny Mom asked, what is your grail pin? What's the pin you want most and why?
So my number one grail pin I recently got, it was the one from the Disney Employee Center of Ariel, and I traded like 10 million pins for that to make that happen, because it's like a pin that's worth
a lot. So who where
well, it's worth like $500, $600, and I wasn't gonna buy that outright, so I think I traded like 8 pins for it.
Wow.
And valuable pins too, like Disney Studio Store pins, whatnot, because I'm lucky that I live not too far from there. So I was able to grab a couple as traders, and I did that specifically knowing that I wanted to get that pin someday. But there, I guess my pin that I would want to have now as my grail is I want the Eric Cutie pin, also from Disney Store. And I would also like the Ariel Cutie as well. I don't have either of those, the one in the pink dress. So someday. That's
cool. That's very cool. Tarzan as well. Tarzan says hitchhiking boat. Apparently,
Cynthia, you're one of them.
There you go. I was going to get you to notice that. Somebody asked a question. Where did it go? Christina, where did you get your? Oh no, maybe I got it already. I think somebody asked a question. If you do want to ask her questions, now's the time. We got about 8 more minutes in the show. Go ahead and at her or at me. I think I missed a question from somebody, but maybe I didn't.
Hi, everyone in the chat. I can't really see that well today, so I'm sorry that I haven't been reading the comments.
I think that, so I lived in California, like I stated already, for many, many years. I got lots of friends in California still. When they ask me what I miss about California, I always lie. Because really, the answer is proximity to getting Disney pins at Disney is the right answer. But I don't tell them that. I say, oh man, I miss my friends. It's Disney pins. I miss being near Glendale specifically and just going to downtown Disney and all that. We used to do it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm jealous when I hear Orlando wins or people near Anaheim talking about how often they get to go. How often do you go down there just buying pins and such? And hopefully your husband's not listening.
Quite frequently. I mean, he's in the other room, so he won't hear. I mean, I look at those. I'm one of those people that looks at the upcoming pin calendar coming up, and I try to plan for it. My husband thinks I should do a better job of budgeting and making a list of things that only I definitely need, and just not just go when I feel like it. But yeah, I try to look at the list and figure out what days I definitely need to go to the park or to World of Disney. Sorry, my phone's ringing. But yeah, just to go to World of Disney and pick up pins. But I would say probably every month at least going to pin traders downtown. In Disneyland, and that's a great spot to get pins. There was a time that they actually stopped doing the limited edition pins for a while. They weren't doing them outside the park anymore, and people rebelled against that. People were not happy at all that they couldn't get them in the park. And I actually didn't like it either, because you could only get it at certain pin stores, and they never really had a good balance of which store would have it and other stores wouldn't have it. Like, I just like being able to go to downtown and know that Pin Traders has it, World of Disney has it, and then the kiosk outside of World of Disney has some. Like, I just like to be just boom and boom and boom, and that's it.
Right. James, you're cracking me up. Adventures with DP in the house. There's another Disney fan, Disney Pins fan. Well, Disney fan, but I meant to say Disney Pins fan. Everybody say hi to VP. Good guy. Glad he's in chat. Hitchhiking Bones wanted me to ask you, what is your favorite thing to do in Disneyland? That's a hard one. That's a hard one. So I'll just shut up. What? My
favorite thing is, that's actually an easy one for me. My favorite thing is just to walk around. I'm not even kidding. Like, I like being in the atmosphere. One of those people that when I hear the Disney music, I completely light up. So being able to walk around the park and look at all the attractions and people enjoying themselves, I don't know if that makes me feel like Walt or something. I don't know. I just really like being in that atmosphere.
I totally get that. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. You talked about music. I like to ask this to lots of people who, especially the people who are definitely detail Disney fans, and I'm going to call you that. Soundtrack, favorite Disney soundtrack. You talked about musicals earlier. I'd really be interested to hear the answer to this. For me, it's Mary Poppins.
I'm going to go with Broadway. Not a Disney movie, and say Aida.
Oh, wow.
That is my favorite Disney musical ever. I love that show. I saw it like a zillion times on Broadway when it was open, and I will listen to that countless times on repeat.
So tell me, I'm aware of it. I don't know anything. So tell me and everybody else
what. It is a show written by, the music was written by Elton John. And it was Elton John, Tim Rice collaboration. And it's based off of the opera Aida. And it's a story that's about these two star-crossed lovers. And one is the like princess of Nubia. The other one is he's a prince about to become king or whatever, Ramses, emperor, whatever the case might be. But he's royalty, and she is a princess, but she's in disguise as a slave because she doesn't want people to know who she really is for fear that she will get tortured or killed. And so she has to like pose as someone that she's not. And she somehow comes into the palace and they fall in love. He's betrothed to somebody else. So it's this love story that shouldn't be happening. And it's just really beautiful and powerful. It's a story about love. And I love that.
That's cool. I'm going to have to check that out. Where can we see that now? Was it only on Broadway? Is it not?
It was on Broadway. It was touring for a little bit, but I don't think Disney has kind of not done anything with it for a number of years now. And it's sad because I really loved seeing that show. It was really powerful. The person who played Aida, the title character, her name was Heather Headley in the original show, and she was phenomenal. And she won the Tony, and she deserved it because her vocals are ridiculous. Like, she has to hold notes really, really long in that show, and that show is all her. So it was just really good to see it.
Check it out. When we were down there for the art, what's the art festival? Festival of the Arts. And they had a bunch of the down at in the American Pavilion.
Yes, I love that. That's the reason that I wanted to go.
My family didn't even want to hang with me. Like, I sat there, I'm like, hey guys, this is really exciting. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm like, well then go, because I'm doing this. And I got video of it and all that, and they were out of their mind, but it was spectacular.
Well, what I liked about that too is that it depended on what show you saw. It was always something different. They did different songs from different musicals, so you didn't know what you were going to see. And the day that I went, they actually did music from Aida and from The Little Mermaid and from they did the Lion King song that I love. My other big Disney Broadway thing that I'll listen to on repeat is Lion King on Broadway. I love that soundtrack as well. And Heather Headley, who starred in Aida, was also in Lion King originally, so I just love her voice too.
Wow.
But anyway, so just seeing that that performed, I was living for it. I was just having so much fun.
I have to ask you, and it's not Disney, it's Universal, but we don't have to talk about that. Are you excited about Wicked? Are you excited about Wicked?
What about Wicked?
Are you excited about Wicked the movie?
I didn't even know they were making a movie.
They've been making it for years. It keeps getting moved. It was originally for December 2021, and they just moved it back recently with COVID. It got bumped for Sing 2. Are you freaking kidding me? It keeps getting bumped back. They haven't done anything yet. But Idina Menzel, Frozen chick, just said, hey, I still got the chops. I can do it, because they're looking at making it Ariana Grande the lead. So.
Oh, no. I don't want Ariana Grande in that.
I'm not a fan, but I got a daughter who is, and I took her to a concert. That girl can sing. I didn't know nothing of hers, and now I'm a fan because she can sing, but obviously.
But to be Elphaba, I don't know. But yeah, I love Wicked. So I love Wicked. That's not Disney, but I'm all about Wicked as well.
By the time Wicked comes out as the movie that I've been trying since, like, I think 2008, Disney will probably own Universal by then anyway. So, whatever.
Yeah.
James says it's nice to have somebody from LA who knows a thing or two about Broadway. Yeah, right. I agree. I'm surprised you guys, everybody in chat's going, no, that's the thing. And there it is. It's up on the screen. I knew I had something else to say. Wow, we're almost out of time. This went so fast. Life with Roxana says Heather Headley used to be on the worship team at my church.
That's so cool, Roxana.
I'm not going to pretend like I knew that name before, but I do now. And wow, you know who's on my worship team? Jimmy and Fred. It's not Broadway. It's good. I mean, they're good, but come on.
I was gonna say, speaking of Broadway, I know we're talking about Broadway a lot, but I love it too. It's my other passion besides Disney. Speaking of Broadway, they were supposed to be bringing In the Heights, which is a New York themed musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda, same guy as Hamilton. That was supposed to be opening right now in July in theaters as well. They had to push that back to next year, and I'm kind of bummed about that. And I was reminded because I actually have a friend who's in the movie. She was originally in the Broadway production, and so he asked her to be in the movie, and she posted on her Facebook, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. And she was sad that had to be pushed back because of the freaking pandemic too. So
There's a lot of things that are still upside down. I can't believe the hour's up. We've got like 20 seconds. Everybody's freaking out. I mean,
my hair is so like frizzy right now. But I was in the pool. I was talking to Jeff about this. I was in the pool before we came up live, and I was like, ah.
You're fine. Unfortunately, Mar, it's owned by Universal. They've got the rights. So everybody's talking about Menzel and all that. And for that matter, Kristen Chenoweth was remarkable. Glinda, she is so good.
They were both really good in those roles.
If I don't believe in aliens, but if there are aliens, it's her. She's insane. She's just another level. I've had a blast. Anything you want them to know about? We're at the end of the show. I can't believe it went this fast. Well, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for letting me bump you because I was a poor.
Thanks for inviting me anyway.
No, thank you. But what do you want them to know about you, your channel, anything that's coming up, anything you want to do? The floor is yours, and then we'll say goodbye to the peeps.
Well, we talked about unboxings earlier in the show, and I do have a couple of Disney boxes. I'm going to my roots a little bit back with that, so I will have at least I think 3 different Disney unboxings, 3 different companies that I'm going to be showcasing on my channel this month alone. So stay tuned for that.
And again, she's not asking. I am. If you want to sponsor that, get a hold of her. Throw her an email. It's easy. She can say, "Hey, sponsored by Nikki Rogers or whoever." So check it out. Love you being on the show. Love your channel. Love you. Appreciate you spending the time on here. Love family-friendly channels like yours. If you haven't already, get over. I just dropped the link. So is Stacy. Everybody's dropped a link. Thank you, Maud, so much.
Guys.
Give her some love. Watch her videos. You're going to like it. I guarantee it. Thank you. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you for being fun. Bye. And don't be a stranger. Don't go away. I'm going to talk to you after the stream. Everybody in the stream, thanks for being here. Mods, thank you. Members of the channel, thank you. Also, tonight we're not done in, 25 minutes or so. Creator Talk Live. Tonight we're talking about a specific thing in TubeBudy. And it's really easy. It's going to be helpful to you. So setting up lists, trust me, if you're already using TubeBudy, you're going to like this. And if you're not using TubeBudy, well, maybe I'll talk you into doing it. By the way, TubeBuddy.com/Dole Whip for a free download. Did you know Christina Chenoweth was an adopted child? I did not, Mar. That doesn't surprise me, but I did not. More people are adopted than people know. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Love you. Thank you. Everybody in chat, love you. See you tonight if you're interested in creating. Also tomorrow morning, Beauty and the Baits continues. I'm going to shut up now. Play Dates and Travels. Thanks. Don't go anywhere, people.
Bye.
Later, everybody. Have a great night. See ya.